Hello again. Right, so we've been doing our surface scan missions for a few hours, and I'm up to 89 million now. But the missions that we're getting, the highest ones, are only about 400,000. We can get them up to 3 million if we now go to the next stage. And what we need to do is increase our explorer rank much higher. At the moment, where are we? What have we got in rank wise? Combat rank 27%, mostly harmless. Trade 21%, peddler. Must have just got that from selling those commodities that we didn't want. Explorer rank aimless, so nothing there. So we got to get that up to something like ranger, which is near the top. We can get elite in a week, and at the same time we can make at least 300 million in about 30 hours. And you do that by exploring. So we can kill two birds with one stone. We can go exploring for a week, it's about 30 hours, get our 300 million, get elite rank in exploring, and then come back here and make 5 times as much money for a bit until you got your billions, and then that's you set up for the rest of the game. So just a couple of weeks from start. Now, to get this explorer rank, there's a list, and I'm going to insert after this a copy of the list, a bit of the list. But I'll give you a forum link in the comments bit that shows you the whole list. And this is made by Commander Becky. And basically what you do is you go to the first station on the list, and it tells you what to scan. So you go there and scan it, and then on to the next one on the list, and you just work right through the list. And there's no danger. Nobody's going to come after you. You're out in the middle of space. There's nobody there anyway. So you don't need much of a ship. What you do need is an advanced scanner and a detailed surface scanner. So what I've done now, what we want now, we got to go and get an exploring ship. Now, you could use any ship. We could use the ones we've got now. But on the way, we can save a bit of time, maybe, by getting a decent exploring ship, which is a Diamondback Explorer. It's a really nice ship. Fuel scooping in it is a breeze, and it's got a nice view, and it's just a nice ship to fly. And you don't need to fight anybody with it or anything like that. So, as I said, any ship would do. So what I did before, when we did that delivery mission, we bought a hauler, and I've still got my 2A frameshift drive in that. If you didn't do that, and you're still in your Sidewinder, and you'd put your 2A frameshift drive into storage, what you do now is buy a hauler and then fit everything, the lightest, that's D grade modules. Let's just have a look at it. Outfitting, I'll show you exactly what to do. Sell the pulse laser, it's only going to slow you down. Utility mounts, nothing in there. Core internal. So ideally you want D grade, but it's only a question of what's here. So D grade. Thrusters, we wanted D, but they've only got A here. Frameshift drive needs to be A class. Life support ideally would be D. The power distributor also needs to be D, but they've only got A, and the sensors need to be D, so you can get those right. Then in the optionals, you don't need that cargo rack, but it won't let me sell it for some reason or other. Not that we need to, because we're just going to keep it empty. But we need that 2A fuel scoop. So when you arrived in your Sidewinder, I think you probably stored it because we didn't need it. And but if you did or didn't, whatever, you need to store it from your Sidewinder and then transfer it back into this ship using the module transfer system. So basically here it is here, transfer, store, and then when you come back, it'll be in the stored modules there, which you bring it back to your ship. So, oops, let's go back again. So we're on the optional internals. You might as well, it comes with a basic discovery scanner, or your Sidewinder did, but you could, if you don't have one, you can put one in here. It'll get you just a few credits on your way, so you might as well have it. But the important thing is the fuel scoop and the 2A frame shift drive. They're the two things you need to get. Now, with all that stripped down, our jump range is up to 26.78 light years, which is not bad. The Sidewinder only goes to 20 something, just about 20. So you could have used that, but this will be quicker because it's got a bigger jump range. So, just going to have a look at the galaxy map to show you where we're going. Oops, get rid of this first. So we're in Quince, which is right at the top of the map. And we need to go to Maya, which is down here, which is where this list starts. And so halfway, we're going to stop off at 32 Mu Serpentis to get the Diamondback Explorer and fit that out for exploration, where we get the Advanced Discovery Scanner and the Detailed Surface Scanner. That's the nearest place we can get it. And it's got everything we need for the Diamondback to make it the perfect exploring ship. So whether you use your Sidewinder or Hauler, doesn't matter, but use one of them to get to here. So remember, you just type it into the search here, and then make sure that you've got just these top 7 selected, and the apply filter to route, and that makes sure we only stop at the scoopable star systems. So it's just a question of going from Quince to Mu Serpentis. So when we get there, we'll get our Diamondback and fit it out. So I'll see you down there. There was something I forgot to mention. You'll notice I've got no shields. I took those off because you don't need any shields for this normally. When I had shields on here before and was scooping, the ship got too hot. It always gets a bit hot when you're scooping this one, and the temperature wouldn't go back down when I had the shields on, so I had to switch them off anyway. So don't bring shields with you. You don't need them. Having said that, I made a mistake when I set off. I forgot to check my cargo, and from the last mission I'd got some mission cargo, and so I'm just flying along here, and pirate came after me for it, so I got interdicted. It took me by surprise because I wasn't expecting anything, because normally I've got nothing for them. When you get to 32 Mu Serpentis, the station you want is Herodotus Dock, or Herodotus, however you pronounce it. Now don't forget that I can see the slot now on the image below, but if you don't know where it is, come from the inside between the planet and the station. I don't know where that planet's in this orbit, but between the centre of the orbit, so they're always coming in sort of like this. Don't forget to keep it in the blue zone. And you should then see the slot once you know where it is. So it's sort of pointing above us at the moment, so I've got to come in more from this side. So it's gone again now, but it will come back. Oh, there's another orbit there, that's why. So you should always aim between the planet and the station on it when you're on the final orbit. Trouble is, all these different orbit lines, it's difficult sometimes to tell which one it is. So this planet will slow us down a little bit, so I'm going to open up the throttle a bit past the blue zone. But you've got to watch out because it'll overshoot if you're not careful. once it's showing you can go. It's not. You can go full throttle without overshooting, as long as you sort of pull it back. Like I'm going to go right down to 4. Well, I'm down to 5 now. So normally it would overshoot, but I've reduced the throttle to 0. But you can see how you get all this whirring and whatever. And as soon as you get the blue writing, disengage then. So I've managed to arrive intact. So, we got our docking permission. Same procedure, green on the right and on the green side. Be careful not to bang into anything, because without shields, you can take a bit more damage. I'll put my landing gear down, that'll slow me down a bit. Landing gear deployed. So number 4's right at the back. So pips off the engines. That's maximum speed with no pips and my gear down. Full throttle, 39 meters a second. Oh yeah, I've got to be gentle because I've got no shields. Normally I just bash into the landing pad, but without shields it's not advisable. There we are, no more damage. So, the first thing we want to do is strip this ship. We've finished with it now. The Diamondback can do everything that this can do, only more. So we go to outfitting. Not even any point in refueling it or repairing it. Just waste time. So what did we have? Thrusters. Downgrade everything you can. So just buy the lowest ones. Because you lose money on... some money on modules that you leave in your ship when you sell it. But if you sell them as modules, you get 100% of your money back. So I sort of wanted to do everything. Sensors. I mean, we've got millions now, so it's not a big deal, but if your money's a bit tight, you should always do this. And then in the optional, sell everything you can. We don't need that fuel scoop anymore. In fact, when we go back to Quince, we'll sell the Sidewinder. When you finish there, you use it when you get back there, but when you decide you want to fly away, you'll have the Diamondback. So that'd be much better because it can travel so far. So we've stripped this now. Now we go to the shipyard. And we want the Diamondback Explorer, not the Scout. They look the same. Explorer. The Explorer's more expensive. We got loads of money. It's only cost nearly 2 million. But by the time we fitted it out, it's going to be like 11 million or something. So purchase options, exchange current ship. What's the difference? We get 50,000 back, big deal. Yeah, we'll permanently use it, we don't care. So luckily at this station, they've got absolutely everything. So the reason we choose a Diamondback is because it runs very cool, which is useful because you're going to be doing a lot of scooping. So we go straight to outfitting. And it's an exploration ship, so there's going to be no bad guys, nothing to bump into, just the planets, but nothing will help you for that. So just get rid of everything that you don't need. Sell the guns. All these things all just make it run a little bit hotter, so they're not going to do you any use. Nobody's going to shoot you. Perhaps it's a good idea to do your exploration in solo when you go to the popular places like Maya. So here we go now. Power plants. We want 3D. Thrusters, we want 3D, right? 4D. Frame shift drive, we want 5A, the best we can get. Top of the list. You can see already now our jump range is up to 35 light years. So that's nearly twice as much as the Sidewinder. Life support, we want lighter. So 3D is lighter than 3E. Power distributor, I think it's a 3D. And the sensors D grade for lightweight. So that's it. Each time we're up to 36.6 jump range now. Now we go to the optional internal. So we don't need any shields, but you know, I always feel comfortable having some shields because you never know what's going to happen. So in here I'm going to put a bi-weave. You don't need them, but I don't know, I just feel happier with shields. So it's a 3C bi-weave. Is that, hang on, let's just check. Which is heaviest? 5, both the same. So we've got our shields. We don't need any cargo racks. You could keep them because I think if they're empty it doesn't have any effect on you. It just makes it clearer what you've got and what you haven't got. Right, now starting at the bottom, we need the Discovery scanner. And that's a stellar body one. Oh, why can't we put it in there? Oh, because we've got a basic one. You can't have two Discovery scanners, so I put it in there. I could have sold that one and then done it, but so if you wonder why, that might be right. So advanced Discovery scanner, 1,000,000 credits. That's going to pay for itself 1,000,000 times over. And now, in the other one, we want the surface scanner. There it is there. Detailed surface scanner. That's the only two things we need. Plus a big jump range. So surface scanner, shields. Oh, and a fuel scoop. So we're down to 37. Have I missed something? Fuel scoop. Biggest possible 4A. They don't have any mass, so it shouldn't make a difference. Bye. So we've got a fuel scoop, a shields, advanced discovery scanner, and a don't even need that, but it doesn't weigh anything, so it's not going to have any effect on us. So that's everything. So we're ready now to go exploring, and we're going to start at Maya. So let's just find that on the galaxy map. Oh, we need to put the advanced discovery scanner on a trigger. So it's in fire groups. There it is there. You could put it on the main trigger because you're not going to use your trigger for anything else. But because I fly a lot of ships, I like to keep my habits the same. I've always got guns on the main trigger, obviously. So I put it on the secondary one. And I've always flown like that. So I just, each time I jump now, I just put on the secondary trigger. So how the advanced discovery scanner works, all you do is when you jump to a new system, as soon as you arrive, you just fire off, hold it on until it gets all the data for what planets are in the system. It covers the whole system, so everything's there. Then what we do, we look at the system map for the planets we're interested in, and then we just fly to them, and the surface scanner, when you get within a certain distance, goes off by itself and scans them. You'll see that later. So we've set our trigger for the advanced discovery scanner. We've got everything we need, and now it's off. We're off to Maya. So galaxy map, and don't forget, make sure these are selected and this one. So it's top 7 KGB foam. KGB foam, if you spell it out. And where we want Maya. Maya's an interesting place. You know, it's a shame that we're not going to stay around there for a bit. It's where all the aliens are. So after you've done all this and got your millions, you can either go and get all your engineers sorted out, or you can go, you know, on an alien discovery trip, find out what's going on with them. They'll probably be with us by then. So MAIA. You see it's right down here. So like Quince is right at the top of the map, and Maya is right at the bottom. So there's 545 light years for us. Now with the 20 light years at a time, plus the 300 we've come so far, it's 800. You know, 800 divided by 20 is 40 jumps. It's quite a lot. But with we got a jump range about 40 now, so that's only about 12, 14 jumps. That saved us a lot of time getting this Diamondback. But plus, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing a lot of jumping all around here, checking out these water worlds and terraformable planets and things. And that will, sometimes they're 40 light years apart. So each time you got this big jump range, it saves you a jump, saves you a minute. So it's all extra, you know, time is money. So that's it. Now, what you need to do now is have Becky's list. Actually, we don't want to go to Maya, now that I think about it. Does it start at, is there any planets in Maya? Now, I've printed off her list. So don't forget, look at that link I've given you on the forum, and then down the page in her first thread is a big list that starts with Maya, and it says all the systems to go to, and it lists which planets in the system are the ones that you need to go to. I'm going to explain that when I get there, but you do need that list printed off. And if you can't print it directly from the screen, just do a screenshot and then paste press print screen when it's up there, and then open up Paint or something and just paste it. Then you can print it and then go back to the website, move down the page to the next bit so you can see all the next ones in the list, print screen, paste it and print it each time. And then you've got the pages. How many pages are there? There's about 7 pages. And when you finish them all, you'll have 300 million. That gives you about 10 million an hour. And it takes about 30 hours, if I remember rightly. I did it once before. So that's it. So, so I was just checking Maya. Yeah, there's nothing in Maya, so sorry. The first one on the list is Pleiades sector, P-L-A-I-E. No, done it wrong. It's Pleiades sector. This is a nuisance. You have to keep typing this out every time. D-L-Y D65. So that's the first one. It should be close to Maya. There it is. So this list is if you were starting at Maya. We go to that. Right, here we are. We just arrived at our first system on the list. I'll show you what to do. It's very straightforward. Right, hopefully you did this along the way because it gets you extra data. Fire off your advanced discovery scanner while you're scooping. And once you see that once you've got the data, it said discovered 10 new astronomical objects. So you can throttle back. But one of the problems is that if you open up the system map, whatever throttle you're at, it'll hold that until the system map's gone, and sometimes it takes quite a long time. That's why you need a cool ship, because if you look, I'm scooping continuously, and temperature's only 65. So I've throttled right back, so I can do all this while I'm scooping, even though I'm not actually scooping anything. So open up the system map, and then you look at the list, and it says number 4 is a terraformable water world. So there it is there. Easy as that. Select it. And it also says number 5 is as well. So that's that one. You have to do one at a time. So let's do number 4 first. So there it is now. So you just fly to it. Full throttle. And I think that's worth, must be close to $1 million, 700,000 or $1 million, just for doing this. So it's sort of like a mission. Each planet gets you, like that sort of money. So after a bit of practice, you'll soon figure out how to do it nice and quickly. Get it into a routine. This is a bit boring. Some of the planets are a very long way from the star, and some systems have got multi-stars. You'll learn everything about every system when you do this, what sort of things you get in them. So if they're really too far away, like 300 light seconds, so when you get to the 7 seconds, put it in a blue zone. Oops, I was watching, so I'm going to overshoot now. You'll notice that I'm just going to turn away. It's overshot. I'll just point back again. And next to the blue planet symbol on the left there, now you'll notice there's a funny whirling thing. It says scanning. That's the surface scanner going off. And as soon as it says it's got the data, there you go, complete. Now we want the next one. So the quickest way to get it is back from the system map. Like that, because in the navigation panel, they're all unexplored, so you don't know which is which. So you could explore them all and get the data from all of them. But these particular ones are worth a lot of money. The rest, some of them not worth very much. So in terms of credits per hour, you get 10 million an hour following the ones on the list and ignoring everything else. So I'm just maximum throttle again. And you'll figure out how to optimize all the time, because you want to do it probably as fast as possible. I'll show you in a minute. So as soon as you get to 7 seconds, plant it in the blue zone. Right, that's it this time. And not long after that, you'll see the surface scanner going off. There you go. As soon as you get that, you can go to 0 throttle, because it's scanning. As long as it's scanning, that's all you need to do. And while you're doing that, you can... Oops, wrong map. Galaxy map. And you can be planning your next route. But you've got to be careful, because if you select the next one before it's gone, before it's scanned, then the scan doesn't complete. So you might want to just wait till you get the blue writing. It's up to you. So also, when you're moving from planet to planet, it's not so bad, because in the system you can see when you've got it or not. I'll show you on the next one. So the next one is Pleiades sector GWW. The trouble is you don't know where it is, so you've got to type it every time, and you'll soon learn how to... Oops. So yeah, make sure... I don't know why it does it, but the box will open up for a different one. So make sure you click on the one that you want. So just select the system. It's 1 jump away. If you're on, it's 21 lights. So if you're in the Sidewinder, that would be 2 jumps. That's why a Diamondback's a good ship for doing it. So just get your frameshift drive going. And it's just the same procedure at every system. So in this one, we're looking for planet number 3, A3, and A4. I'll explain that on the next one. So, as soon as you drop out, get your advanced discovery scanner going. So, there we go. It's got everything now. As soon as you got that, throttle back. It's a good idea to wait for it to slow down a bit, because what will happen is you'll end up the other side of the system somewhere, and you have to come all the way back. It always seems to take a lot longer to come back than it does to get there. So, system map. Normally I've got this as a matter of routine, but because I'm explaining it, it's, taking a bit longer. Right. Now, we've got 3, was it more stars in this one? 4 stars in this. So you've got A, B, C, and D. And when planets are shared between 2, so if you had 2 like that and they came out here, they would be planets AB. And if there was one out there, it'd be CD, or it could be BC if it was out there. But these are attached to these stars, so that's all those planets are D1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. They're C1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm assuming that this is attached to that. So these are the A planets that we want. So same procedure as before. As soon as you get there, advanced discovery scanner, do a bit of scooping, throttle back, system map, and on the list we want planet number 3. There it is there. That's a terraformable high metal content world. And that one there is a water world terraformable. So just click on that one first. Follow the list. Now on the list it tells you how far they are. So anything up to maybe 100,000 light seconds. I wouldn't take any more than that, because they're a pain. It takes ages flying out to them. So there we go. S system map. And what did I say? 2 and 3. Now these 2, they're orbiting each other, so they're going to be really quick then. And they're only 300 light seconds, 400 from the star. So these two are going to be really quick. So quite often they come in pairs. Because terraformable planets, they're in what I call the Goldilocks zone. It's quite a narrow band of distance from the star. So if there's one terraformable planet, obviously the ones in the similar orbits are going to be terraformable, or there's a fair chance they'll be terraformable as well. So often they come in pairs. So I don't want to overrun this time. So there you can see both of them now. There goes the scanner. So you get the one. You keep flying towards them, because sometimes the second one is, you've got to be a lot closer before you can target it, if it's a small planet. So that's it, you got the first one, then just select the second one. And that should say, terraformable or water world or whatever it was. High metal content world. Yeah. To find out if you're really interested, when you look at the system map now, if you're worried that you got the wrong one, now there's information on them here. If I click that one, the other one, and then look at the information here. Terrestrial, that means terraformable, water world. This one here, high metal content with metallic color. This body is a candidate for terraforming. Let's say that for the other one. Yeah, says it there. So that's how you know what they are. It'll tell you whether it's a water world or rocky world, high metal world, whatever it is. That's it. These other ones, they're all rocky world. That one there is probably a rocky world. It's worth about 40,000. But compared with these ones, it's like 700,000 or 1 million or something like that. So you could scan them all. These ones out here, just rocky. No, sorry, that's high metal content or something like that. All the ones with like these plain grey and browny ones, you get nothing for them. Let's make it simple. These ones that's got some sort of coloration or picture to them, they are worth something. So you could do them if you wanted. If you get one, that's a terraformable one or a water world, and there's another one in the same orbit, and it's coloured like this. It's always worth scanning because it's equipped 40,000 minimum, or round about 40,000. It might be more. So it's always worth doing that one. If you've got two in the orbiting each other, like we just had, even though it's not a high value one, it's still, because it's so quick, it's worth doing. A couple of things I forgot to mention earlier. When you get like 2 or 3 stars, they're A, B, and C. So you get planets A1, A2, A3, etc., etc., B1, B2, and if there's any that sort of come out from in between them, they're AB 1, 2, 3, etc. But sometimes you get this situation where the planets come out this way. So that's planet number 3. That's planet number 3A. So it's 3A, B, C. So in this case, we've got 4 and 4A. So you could have other ones coming out here as well. Sometimes great big lines of them. There's, well, say planets, could be moons or whatever. And one other thing. So I'm just going to select this because these are actually wanted in this. That was it. I can't remember which ones I've done now. 5. And in the galaxy map, remember we switched off all the star types from here downwards. Well, if you type in their name, the map will jump to them, but there'll just be a space there and no star. They're just a ring with no star in it, nothing to click. And it's because they're not switched on down here. So, I mean, if you look at this one, see if we can switch it off. There, he's gone now. So you can't actually click on it when it's like that. So you might want to, once you've got out here to Maya, you might want to switch them all on, because most of the jumps, most of the stars are scoopable anyway. But even then, they're short jumps, so you don't hardly use any fuel, and you just catch up at the next one or the one after or whatever. So that's it. Carry on then. I'm just about 3/4 of the way down the first page now. And so what I'm going to do, the data, there's two places where it's worth taking. One is to Elvira Martuk, and the other one is to Felicity Farseer. So when we look, so this side, at the engineers, we've had some invites now because we've travelled quite a long way. We know about Felicity, but unfortunately we haven't met the requirements yet. You're going to, because we've got to be a ranked scout or higher, which we're not yet because we haven't handed in any data yet. So when you hand in your data, your explorer rank starts to go up. So the first time probably we'll unlock her, but already we've unlocked Elvira because what have we done? We've gone a maximum distance of 300 light years from the start. We did that when we went out to Quince, but you'd have also got it for coming down here. I think this is 300 light years from where you started. So before she'll actually start working with you, you got to go and get some Soontil relics. So I suggest you jump on the forum or Google where to get those. I don't think it is from Soontil. It's a system nearby, if I remember rightly. So before going and seeing her, you might want to drop off, pick up those Soontil relics on the way, then you can do everything in one go. Otherwise, you go and see her, and you're going to give her all your data, but you won't go up in rep yet. So, yeah, sorry, what I was saying. Felicity and Elvira, they both love to have exploration data, and if you do that, you not only unlock level 1, but you might go up to level 3 or 4. I've done my first page now. There's 7 pages altogether in Becky's list. I know the whole lot's worth about 300 million. I don't know what this is worth yet. So what I've done, I've scooted across to Ngurii. Cherinovsky City is the name of the station here, where you can get these Soontil relics. And I'm going to run them across to Kuhn, where Elvira is, and I'm going to sell my data to her so that I can get a good start with the engineers. Just one thing, before I set off, I did chuck all my cargo racks. You know, it's so when you come here, if you did chuck your cargo racks as well, the first thing you want to do is go to outfitting and get a cargo rack, because obviously you can't carry anything. Now, one thing is a possibility of an interdiction between here and Kuhn. So if there is, I'll record it and show you how to deal with it. It's not very difficult. I mean, some people fight the interdiction with the mini game, and others do other things. I just submit and run. Both systems works into some people. Right, so you find the Soontil relics in the commodities market. Here they are under consumer items. The rare items always sort of lit up a bit here, like you can see that's brighter yellow. Now they cost quite a bit, but we've got millions now. I took 8, thinking, I'll sell the other ones to, when I get there, make a bit of profit on them. Because you do make, when you carry these things a long way, you do make a lot of profit. But being honest, it's not really worth it because you're making a lot more money exploring. And now I've got to find a station to sell them at because I'm not too sure I can at Elvira. So, right, I'll see you over at Kuhn. I'll show you where it is. G. When you've been invited by an engineer, we see we've got another one there. There's Kuhn there. So you used to be able to click these things, but not now. I'm clicking for all I'm worth now, but you can't. So no choice but to type it in. It is KHUN. If you don't see that symbol, there's no point in going there. I mean, if you've been following what I've been doing, you would have exactly the same as what I've got. But if you haven't got the symbol, no point in going there, because you can't visit her until you've got that. So I've just been interdicted, just 4 pips to engines, boost. You see I'm out of range already, he can't get me. Engage your frameshift drive as soon as you get the cooldown. He's not done with me yet. So that's it, I'm clear now. Now, clue that he's coming always, if you suddenly see a message on your comms board, oh, I've come a long way for your cargo, or there's my meal ticket, or anything like that. That means you're about to see one, so just get ready. Make sure you got your 4 pips to your engines and 2 to your shields. Speed is of the essence. The moment when he interdicts you, submit, and the moment you drop out, boost, and even before he's decided to shoot you, you're more or less out of range, as long as you have 4 pips to engines. Don't think about 4 pips to shields. It's speed you want. The faster you get out of his range, the safer you'll be. So just boost. Keep an eye on your frameshift drive cooldown, which is on the bottom right, and then as soon as your capacitor's charged, boost again. I mean, you can keep spamming the boost button, and then it'll go off as soon as it's ready. And then as soon as your frameshift drive's cooled down, engage it, and away you go. And keep boosting. Just because your frameshift's going doesn't mean you're totally safe. Because obviously if you don't keep boosting, you'll start slowing down, he'll catch you up maybe. But the NPCs tend not to use boost, so as long as you boost, you just go further and further away from them, and you can wave them bye-bye. So as you can see, although he was shooting me, I didn't even lose, not even one ring of my shields. So we'll probably see him again before we get to Coon. Here we go again. I've just had the message. I don't see him at the moment. Oh, there he is. Just appeared on the radar. I might get away before he comes this time. Yep, safe now. Right, well, we're just arriving at Coon. So I might even get chased between the star and the station. We'll see. So to find the engineer, I can't remember the name of her place now, but you'll see there it is, long sight base. You get the little nut symbol, the hexagon with a hole in it. So it'll be a planet. All the engineers are on planets at the moment. Yeah, one thing you might want to think about is, if you look, my fuel's quite low, because I didn't stop at scoopable stars all the time, and the reason was because I switched them all off for the exploring to make sure they were selectable when I found them on a galaxy map. So before making this trip, have I overshot? Yeah. Before making this trip, don't forget to put them back on again. I'll switch them off, the ones you don't want, so you've just got the KGB foam ones selected, and then apply to your route. That way you'll only go via scoopable stars. It's a tiny bit longer, but at least you don't run out of fuel. So I had to stop and do some long scoops a couple of times. So here we go, same procedure as before. You want to get that target about 20% of the way down the planet. So I'm keeping the throttle in the blue zone at the moment. As I get a bit closer, I'm going to reduce it to 75%. So just keeping an eye on that timer all the time. There's a few people flying around. No messages yet though. If you don't get the message, you tend not to get the interdiction. So there's normally a warning first. So I've got my throttle in the blue zone all the way. It seems that the gravity's not too bad here. Okay, so that's about 20% of the diameter between there and there. So I'm probably at about the right angle now. A lot of these engineers, yeah, that's 50 degrees, that's nice and steep. That's what you want. You end up nice and close. A lot of these engineers, their bases are a bit, not weird, but kind of difficult to sort of navigate around to the landing pad. So it's really good if you've got a docking computer, so you might think about getting one of those. You just get your docking permission and then slow down to 0 throttle and the ship will land itself. I can't remember what this one's like. But the black hole one, whoever that is can be a bit tricky, depending what ship you've got. So if you come in nice and steep, you're already in close enough to the station to get docking permission. Right, where have we got to go? That looks like it, right over there. Now you need to check the number. They do a dirty on you. They always light up other ones sort of nearby. So I'm using my side thrust and then yawing the other way. But you do go down when you do that, so you want to watch out. So now I'm just going to give a bit of up thrust. So I'm still going down because of the gravity. It's quite heavy, big gravity here. I'm full up thrust, but I'm still going down. 1.2 gravity, that's a lot. So you want to just be careful on your landing, not to go down too quickly. That's it, landing gear. There we go. So, the first thing we want to do with Elvira is go to our engineer's workshop. Unavailable. Why is that? Well, let's have a look in a minute. There's a reason for it, but I can't think why. So if you go and see her and donate your Soontil relics, and now she's ready to work for you. But at the moment you'll see you're all on level 1. So we could probably get some improvements to our frameshift drive to get back to our exploring even quicker if we wanted to. What's the reason? Doesn't tell us. I did know the reason, but I can't think. I'm just going to log just to check. There you go. Well, that's what to do. I don't know the reason for it, but by logging out, back in again, it's come back. So now we can cash in some of this data. So this page is worth 23 million. We got any more? So we got all sorts of messages going to come in now. Tell us we've gone up in rank for exploring. So that's 23 and 7 million. That's 30 million. So it took about 3 hours, I think. You got to. Oops, there's another page. No, we can check the timer now. So that was 2 hours when we started. And now it's 13. So I've gone 11 hours. And we've got 109 million in the bank. And, whoops, I lost it now. The controls have gone a bit weird since they added this Hollow Me and Engineers. Here we go. Yeah, we got 121 million altogether. So another hour and we've got our Anaconda. So it used to be pretty good to go from 0 to an Anaconda in 24 hours using the old methods. But I think this must be a record. So what was that? 11 hours was it? So that would be, yeah, 0 to Anaconda. We've been, it was 2.5 hours when the last two. It was 1 week, 5 days, 2 hours and 29 minutes, I think. So that's so 10.5 hours. So another half hour, we could have had our Anaconda if we go to Lee Yong Ri, buy a cheap one there. So that's not bad. I'm sure I've not heard one quicker than that. So this is definitely a quick way to make money. So yeah, so from now on, all you need to do is carry on with that list. And by the time you've finished the list, the other 6 pages, you can sell the data, the other ones, anywhere. Unless you mysteriously unlock Elvira, but she does mainly the same stuff as not Elvira, the what's her name, Felicity Farseer. She does mainly the same stuff as this frameshift drives. So now we sold all that data. Let's have a look at what she's offering us. Now look, we've unlocked level 5 in one go. Let's say it's an awful lot of messing about, going and collecting stuff. I don't know whether we've got the. This is how you engineer. You select. No, we haven't got the. You can see we've got some things, so we could do a level 1. Not that we want to, but increased frameshift drive range. So we've got 25 of these, but we could do it to show you how it's done. So just preview outcome, increase frameshift range, and view cost and generate, and it whirs away. And what we're looking is this one to be up here, right at the end. So we've got a 9% increase now in a distance, but it hasn't finished yet. It does all these funny things. It's going to take longer to boot. And we've suffered these things. So I'm going to... I'm just going to try again. We got loads of that stuff, whatever it was. See if we can get right up high. No. But sometimes they jump afterwards, so don't be in too much hurry to judge. So less power draw, that's handy. No. We can do better than that. But this is a thing we're after, so we want that to be there. Go on. Ooh. Oh, there we go. So, no other thing. I mean, these are normal to go down, but sometimes you can even get extra things. You boot time, I don't know whether it can go the other way. So we got the maximum 14% increase. So we'll have that one. I thought we'd get there if we tried a few. So now, you can't see it here, but if you go to outfitting, we had, what was it, 38 light years jump range before, I think. Now we're up to 42 in my other accounts. Oh, we've been promoted, yes, because we handed in that data. We've got loads of things now. Remember, before we were Explorer, we were aimless. Now we're Pathfinder. By the time you've done all the list, you'll be elite. And I think you need it's 2 down from elite, whatever that is. I can't remember now, but you get that unlocks the 3 million missions at Quince. So it's about 30 hours. I mean, it took me 3 hours to do that one page, and so 30 hours probably to do the whole lot. Then you've got your high explorer rank, and you can go back to Quince, make real mega bucks then. Right, in that last bit, it took me by surprise. I suddenly got a message and then straight away got interdicted. And you'll see, I didn't even take a shot. I just immediately boosted, and as soon as I cooled down, got my frameshift drive going. He said I'd got something he was after, but didn't do him much good because I was gone before he could do anything. Right, when you come to these outposts and you got docking permission, you can't see where your landing pad is. You can fly all around the station and you'll never find it. But here's the trick, what you do. With 4 pips to the engines, just give full down thrust. And just keep pointing at it. And what will happen is you'll rotate round until you can see it. But be careful, because the one you see might not be your one. So there's one coming to view over there, and it's number 2. That is the one we want. So I'm just keep down thrust. Just adjust your throttle so there's the same, more or less the same distance. So I'm at about 3/4 throttle. And there's a landing pad. Now, normally on these outposts, you get a little sort of tower thing. I think that's it there, which gives you one idea. That's the far side. And the other thing is, if you look here, you can't always see them in the dark unless you put your lights on. This triangle thing with a ramp, that's the near side. So we've got to come in from this way down. So you got this big post here in the way, or whatever it is, the building. So just come down and then aim for the far side, and then a bit of down thrust, and then you can just move forward a bit. Or take your pips off. Nearly forgot.
Warning. Landing gear
Nope.
not deployed.
And don't forget your landing gear. This Diamondback is very, very easy to position, not like that Sidewinder. Look at that.
Engines disengaged.
So I say, the reason I got interdicted because I've still got that those Soontil relics. There they are. So if I sell them and see what I get for them, 17,000 profit. So 50,000, 70,000. Oh God, yeah, 90,000. Wow. Not too bad. But we're making like 700,000 for each planet we were scanning. So 70,000 is good profit, normally, but compared with the things we've been doing, it's probably not worth it. So just bring the 3 with you. Great. So that's it then. I'll see you again.